This is Ashley Rogers with the Carnivore Brothers. I wanted to come to you tonight. It is my 1 year carnivore anniversary. Hard to believe it's been a year that I've been on carnivore. I first learned of the carnivore diet in November 2022 and did a bunch of research, studied, did a bunch of investigation on YouTube and learning before I jumped fully in. But when I jumped in, it was February 2023. So it is February 2024, and I want to share kind of the top 5 or 6 things that has happened to me in this last year since I've been on the carnivore diet and changed my whole lifestyle, really, the way I have eaten and how that's impacted my life. And it's been remarkable. It's been nothing short of remarkable. So stay tuned here. Hope you'll enjoy these things. But I've heard these stories over and over and over again from multiple people, multiple comments in our video chats, on other YouTuber live streams, things that we have seen over and over again. So this is not a one-man success story. This is happening a lot. And I challenge you, if you're on the fence of jumping into the carnivore diet, I challenge you to do more research, figure it out, but go for it. 30 days can't hurt. That's how I started. I was convinced, and I told my mom, my wife, my daughter, when I first started, I said, okay, I'm giving it a shot. 30 days. What can it hurt? Can't kill me in 30 days. And who knew that this would be the absolute lifestyle that I'm all in, going forward with for the rest of my life. So many great things have changed. So starting out with number one, the weight. Of course, that had a lot to do with me feeling better. I know it did. At my heaviest, I was somewhere above 250 pounds. I really didn't weigh myself much after I hit that mark. I just knew I was heavy. I knew that I had put on too much weight. And that is something I battled with for many, many years, up and down, up and down. But at my heaviest, I was over 250 for sure. And now, after 1 year, and I've been at this weight for a little while, so this has not taken a year to get there. But I'm currently, as far back as I can remember in high school, weighing myself, I was around 180 pounds. And I weighed in at 179 just the other day. I've done it a couple times. My weight fluctuates a little bit from a pound or two, 3 here and there, but 180 is kind of where I've been sitting over the last couple of months, and it's just remarkable. I feel like a different person, and with that weight loss, of course, I've had to get new clothes and all my stuff. I still put on some of my old clothes sometimes, and my daughter will say, "Dad, don't wear those jeans. They look so baggy on you." I haven't invested in a whole new wardrobe, but I'm slowly starting to get some smaller clothes that fit better, and absolutely love that part. So that was I think a big part into me feeling better. But and of course the appearance came across to many people as, wow, there's been a change there. And I still get questions people haven't seen from a long time. Wow, what have you done? You've definitely lost weight. So I love hearing that. I love starting the conversations about my carnivore journey whenever people ask me what I've done. And so that, I think, was probably the most significant thing that people could see visibly. And that's why it's really had a much larger ripple effect, which I'll get into in another point here in a minute. Number 2, my lab work. People have asked several times when they hear, what, you're only eating meat, no veggies? Have you done lab work? What's the doctor say? I haven't put out my lab video. I recorded it, but it was about 45 minutes long, and I know nobody wants to sit there and listen to my lab results for 45 minutes, so I'm condensing it down. But I'm going to give a condensed version in this summary real quick, because the reason I started carnivore diet was type 2 diabetes. And for those of you who are on medications, and for those of you who have been struggling with type 2 diabetes and even type 1 diabetes, but I'm not type 1, I'm type 2, so I can't speak to the type 1 diabetics out there, but I know the carnivore diet can help. But for those in type 2, on medication, struggling with it, ups and downs, doctor telling you it's okay, as long as you take the medicines, you can still eat what you want to, or just modify your diet slightly, eat in moderation, all the commentary that we get. No, it's false. You can correct your type 2 diabetes. you can get rid of your type 2 diabetes and you don't have to worry about type 2 diabetes, which is amazing. And I'm going to be putting out another really dedicated video of that soon, because I want people to know that there is an alternate method. I did tons of research online trying to find out a pill or something that would help me get rid of the type 2 diabetes, because I was still young. I didn't have a lot of complications with it. Like, I just didn't want it to continue into old age and see all those complications, blindness and loss of limbs and all the other things, including death. And type 2 diabetes is serious. It's so much larger in the United States than it ever has been. And if you get into it, there's a lot of reasons why. But I will tell you, your diet can 100% eliminate and reverse your type 2 diabetes if you will cut out your carbs, sugars, go on a carnivore diet. That is the quickest, fastest way. So lab work, A1C score, that is a type 2 diabetes. A1C score at my highest when I first learned I was type 2 diabetic was 11.2. Crazy, super high. Should be below 6.2, but 5.7, 5.8 is when you're considered pre-diabetic. And so to hear that I was 11.2 and then had to learn and figure out what type 2 diabetes even was a huge shock to my system. And that was 8 years ago. I fluctuated up and down, but pretty much I just went up and up and up and up. But carnivore diet, lab work, 9 months in, 3 months in, I did definitely go down and definitely did better. But 9 months in, my last A1C was 5.3. I'm not considered type 2 diabetic anymore. I've reversed it. I am no longer type 2 diabetic. I've never been on medications, and I won't. And all I did was change my diet. I did exercise a little bit on the tail end of the carnivore diet, but the whole first part, I didn't even exercise. This was diet change only. It was the nutrition. It's what you're putting in your body. Anyway, I could ramble and go off a long time on that. I'm going to do that on another video, so stay tuned for that one. That one's coming soon. But incredible results there. My cholesterol levels were through the roof. When I first did blood work, which admittedly I don't see the doctor. I didn't see the doctor, honestly, unless I had to. I was about 40 years old when I did my very first blood work, just kind of annual exam. And that was when I found out about the type 2 diabetes. That was when I found out my cholesterol was through the roof. My triglycerides, guys, my triglycerides were 1305. That's insanely high. And they're supposed to be between 0 and 150 is the range that they want the triglycerides to be in. 1305 at the highest level. Of course, it came down over the years as I worked on eliminating carbs and sugars. But at my 9-month carnivore blood work results, my triglycerides were amazing. They were 82. Absolutely phenomenal. My HDL was 56. That's the highest it's been. It's always been low. HDL is the one that you want to be a little bit higher. It's a good cholesterol. And mine has always been below the standard of where the doctors want it to be. Mine was 56 this last time I did it, 9 months into the carnivore. And my LDL, which I know there's some lean mass hyperresponders and things like that out there that see some really crazy high LDL. Mine wasn't that high. It had actually come down from where it had been at its highest point, but was at 105 after 9 months. So cholesterol levels, all right on the money. Everything was perfect. Definitely better than it's ever been in the history of my life and my blood work that I've done. My iron levels, that was another one that was very interesting to my doctor, who when he first did my blood work was really shocked at how high my iron levels were. And actually his recommendation, and this is a doctor who's pretty open-minded, honestly, but his recommendation is stop eating red meat, quit cooking in a cast iron skillet. And what did I do? It's probably bad, but I didn't listen to my doctor's advice again. I did nothing but eat red meat and cook mostly in a cast iron pan. But my iron levels, my ferritin, that was the one that was really high. My ferritin level is supposed to be between 300 and 400, and that was the range it's supposed to be in. I didn't know what that was, but my ferritin level was over 1,000, 1,016, I believe. And when I went on the carnivore diet, it's because I'd heard a video. Again, the research online, there's so much good stuff. Dr. Ken Berry, shout out, he's amazing. One of his videos, he said, hey, your ferritin levels, your body knows how to handle it. It will self-adjust as long as you're eating a proper human diet. So eating a carnivore diet, I did it. I went for it. 9 months in, my ferritin levels went from over 1,000 to see where were they at. My ferritin levels last checked after 9 months, 267. Again, the range is supposed to be between 300 and 400, so 267, right in the middle of that, spot on. What did I do? I increased my red meat. I continued cooking in a cast iron skillet, but I got rid of the carbs, the sugars, and quite frankly, a lot of the vegetables and other things that may have impacted. I don't know, but I do know the levels were much better and right in range again. So absolutely thrilled with my lab results. So for anyone wondering, how did my lab work look after being on the carnivore diet? It looks better than it ever has in my entire life. I'm 47 years old now, and this is, I haven't really done a lot of blood work in the last several years, but the last few ones that I've done have been pretty shocking. The very first one I did was very shocking, and it's gradually gotten up and down based on when I did it. But I'm scared to go to the doctor, and I don't want to see negative results. So I generally only check it when I know it's good. So these last two that I checked when I was done the carnivore diet have been nothing short of spectacular, and I love it. All right, so that's the lab. So anybody question that lab work? Fantastic. Carnivore diet is making a huge difference. Number 3, this one was big for me because of my type 2 diabetes. I needed something to get rid of the sugar cravings. I was a sugar-aholic. Anything that had sugar in it, I wanted, and I wanted 3 of them, 4 of them, 5 of them. It was crazy. I could eat sugar all day long, and I knew it wasn't good for me. I knew for the last 7-8 years I've been dealing with the type 2 diabetes. I knew that I shouldn't be eating that. But if in the back of my mind is I can correct things later. I'll fix it later down the road. I'm not worried about right now. I'll just have these extra donuts right now or whatever it was. The sugar cravings never went away. And as long as you keep putting that in your body, it is one of the most addictive drugs on the planet. And we know that now. We know that. And I can attest to that. It was not easy to kick. But again, 30 days really hard of carnivore was the first time in a long time that I was like, okay, I can do this. And then 60 days in, those cravings really started going away. And 90 days in, they were gone. I don't have the sugar cravings anymore. I can walk by free, which was also one of my weaknesses. Free desserts, delicious looking. I know they're good because I've had them before. And I can walk away and just say, no, I don't need it because I know what it does to me and I don't want it again. So that's not as easy for everybody. I get it. But if you'll do carnivore for a long enough time, you'll find those cravings go way down, and it's much easier to say no. So huge benefit for those who have struggled. I mean, I don't. It's addictive. So I've heard the analogy several times of it being to somebody who's on drugs or alcohol, and you wouldn't give that person drugs and say, "Oh, just have a little bit," or "This one time is okay." For me, that's the way it is with sugar. I don't want it. I don't want to have it in my diet at all because I know what it'll do to me. So, for the first time in my life, I feel like it's gone and I don't have to deal with it anymore, and I don't need to. So, I love that. That's number 3. Number 4, the energy. The energy that I have seen. Now, I know a lot of that people will say, "Well, you lost a lot of weight." Yes, true. But the energy is different. It is a energy that I have that is just a different level. I wake up in the mornings, I'm ready to go. I don't get tired throughout the day. I can go through workouts and not get near as tired as I was. I would come home from after work or after I was finished for the day and I'd sit on the couch and do nothing. That's not me anymore. And I have the energy to get things done whenever I need to. And it's a different feeling that, we hear on the carnivore diet, so many people talking about the brain fog and the different things have cleared up. But me, it's the energy. I'm ready to go at all times. And it's the mood that I'm in. The mood, the energy level or the feeling that I have is, people ask me, how are you doing? I'm fantastic. I just feel great. I feel phenomenal. I'm not afraid to share it. And so it's something that has been a big life-changing thing for me. Absolutely on their energy. Big difference. Number five, I got to talk about number five because it's cool. The ripple effect. This has been over the last year. You talk about the big changes in my family because of the ripple effect. I started the carnivore diet. People started noticing some changes in me and my brother, who does the channel with me, the Carnivore Brothers. My brother Rhett was the first one to reach out and said, "Dude, what are you doing? You look great." And told him about the carnivore diet, and he no questions asked. He dropped what he was doing immediately. I think he started carnivore the next day. Didn't even know what he was doing, getting into, but he did, and it was great. And he's had phenomenal results. And if you watch our channel, you know his 100-pound weight loss, depression gone, sleep apnea machines tossed it in the trash. He's just doing phenomenal, and I just love getting to see his phenomenal results. And he's doing great with it. My parents, who when I talked to my mom the first time about it, and she said, "I don't know about this." She says she didn't say I was crazy, but along those lines, she thought I was crazy for doing this. And I said, again, 30 days, it's not going to kill me. I want to give it a shot. Let's see what happens. Well, 4 or 5 months after we're into carnivore and they're seeing the results of me and my brother Rhett, they jumped in. They're like, all right, we're going to give this a shot too. And both of them absolutely are thriving. They're doing great. They're 77 years old. Dad's 77, mom's turning 77 this year. And both of them have lost. Dad's lost, I think, 40 pounds. Mom's lost about 35, I believe. Mom's gone through 2 different knee replacement surgeries. The last one was while on carnivore, and she'll tell you her recovery on that was so much better. Dad is just, his energy is just totally different. He was just fine with getting older, sitting on the recliner, not wanting to move, and that was all he was going to do for a little while. And now he's totally different. His energy is great. He looks great too. He keeps buying new clothes. I laugh because he keeps buying new clothes, and showed me off his new suit and coat that he got, and new pants, and he's looking great. So super happy about that. And then we got a text from my twin brother. I have a twin brother who started on it about 2 months ago now, and just giving it a shot. No pressure on him. I don't want to. I'm hoping he's seeing great results. And he may or may not stay on carnivore. I don't know, but so far the first bit he's felt pretty good. So that's great. And then the ripple effect continues. My sister Amber and her husband James, they just texted me and Rhett yesterday, said, "Hey, what are we doing? We're going to start on the carnivore diet and give it a shot for 30 days too." My wife, she's committed to doing beef, butter, bacon, and eggs for the month of February, and we'll see how that goes. But super excited. I mean, just that immediate impact alone in my family alone. If we can be feeling better, if we can be healthier because of it, then it's all been worth it. But the ripple effect is really from seeing people that you know and love feel so much better. Maybe that's my number one, and I just saved it and put it down there on number 5 on the list. Honestly, that's probably my number one. But it's absolutely remarkable, and so I'm just so thrilled with the people who have seen what I've done, and that I can be an example to others, and hopefully they have great results. If you are one that is considering carnivore diet, let me know. I'm happy to help, happy to answer questions, and the carnivore community is amazing. So that leads me to number 6, and honestly probably the one I'll hit on quite a bit because it's absolutely blown me away. I heard Ken Berry, who was it that said it? Maybe it was Carrie from Homestead How, but he said it's funny because you don't see a lot of YouTube channels just blowing up on YouTube with Weight Watchers diet or some of these other diets that are out there because of all the success stories that they've had. But what do you see on YouTube right now? Carnivore is just blowing up. There's people starting channels all the time. In the comments, you see it over and over and over again. And the thing I love about Carnivore is the community because they're incredibly supportive, incredibly helpful. Anytime questions are asked, people are willing to jump in and help answer questions. They're super supportive. And I've seen a lot of YouTube channels, a lot of different comments that people have in there, and there's a lot of haters out there. And yes, you get a few on the carnivore community, but very, very few. 98% of what we get in the comments, on live chats, things like that, is just positive. And there are good doctors out there, Dr. Ken Berry, Dr. Kiltz, Dr. I'm forgetting several of them off the top of my head, Dr. Sean Baker, Dr. Anyway, there's a bunch of them. They'll come back to me here in a second, but they're giving up their own free time. They're not selling anything. They're giving up their free time to help answer questions. I've seen Dr. Barry, for example, who has millions of subscribers on his channel, hundreds of patients. He runs. He's got to be a crazy, crazy busy man. He's jumped on these little, tiny, small YouTube channels that are just getting started just to show his support. I mean, he doesn't have to do that. But he knows it works, and if we can get the message out there, because it's not what you're going to hear in the mainstream media, it's not what you're going to hear from your doctor. A lot of the doctors just don't know, and they don't know the results. They're not keeping up with it, and there's more and more carnivore studies that are happening right now, and the results are starting to come out, and imagine that, we're seeing some incredible things from it. So stay tuned for that. But the carnivore community, I've met some incredible people. I've gotten the pleasure to meet Kerry Mann from Homestead How, and if you haven't seen his channel, man, it's amazing. I'm sure anybody who subscribed to my channel probably is already familiar with Kerry, but definitely check him out. They're working on the Healing Humanity documentary, and I'm super excited to hopefully be even a small part of that, even if it's just a financial contributor. I want to help get the message out, and that is something we fully support. And we loved getting to meet Carrie at the Chicago meetup, and then we also got to meet Adam from Carnivore Today, who's helping Carrie tremendously in that documentary as well. Two amazing, amazing guys that are really trying to get the message out there. At that Chicago meetup, we met other great carnivores. Robin, Carnivore's grandmother, or grandma, Brett from Who's Your Carnivore. I've had the pleasure of going to Austin, meeting Larry from Carnivore Soldier. And I'm looking forward to meeting a lot more in person. But tons of people online. Alia Wells had us on her channel. We've had Russ, Homestick Buckeye, who've been on his channel. We've had Carnivore Kip on our channel. And just everybody who we've talked to are just incredible about helping you out, giving you tips and tricks, being supportive. We can do this together as a community. So I've never experienced that outside of my Christian faith, where a community just helps pull together so much. In my Christian faith, I've seen it from ever since I was young, that your fellow brothers and sisters in Christ will 100% have your back, and loved that experience. But this carnivore community is probably the next closest thing that I've ever seen to a community that's just 100% supportive. So again, if you have questions, if you want to jump into carnivore, don't feel like there's not people out there that'll help you out all along the way. Get online, put yourself out there a little bit, ask questions, and you'll get those answered. So, hey, if you're wondering how to start carnivore, I'm going to wrap it up by saying it's not too late. We've had amazing comments from people, even several in the older community that 75 plus years age, who are changing things and feeling remarkably better. But it's not too late to change. It's not too late to give it a shot. And you can do it. Start out beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. That's the easiest way to try to just jump in and stick to those 4 items if you can for 30 days, and really try not to cheat, and see, write down, how am I feeling now? How am I feeling 30 days after I've given it an honest shot, an honest go for 30 days? And I think you'll be amazed and surprised at the results. So 1 year after I've been on the carnivore diet, I feel fantastic. And this is no longer a diet, it's a lifestyle. I'm not changing. I love it. I can't wait to share more. And this year in 2024 is all about the next progression. I feel like I've lost a lot of the weight that I need to lose, and now I want to work on building up the muscle, the flexibility, and just feeling overall better fitness for myself. And so I'm going to be doing a lot more of that. Excited about putting out some more videos about our smoking of meats. Doing a brisket tonight. Going to shoot that one tonight and put that one hopefully out in the next week or two. And we've got lots more in the works between my brother Rhett and I. And the Carnivore Brothers are going strong. We love it. We thank you for your support. We thank you for subscribing and commenting on our videos. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We got lots more content coming out this year that we're excited about. And I hope you'll join us on this journey. If you haven't made the decision, jump in and let me know how we can help. We'll be happy to we try to reply to all of the comments that are in our videos, and do my best to jump in. And if you ever want to email directly or chat about it, I'm open to that too, and happy to help out any way I can. So thank you again. Carnivore for life right here. But 1 year, it's been fantastic. Can't wait to share future results. Thanks for watching, and have a great night. And as Carrie Mann would do, beep.